what is decisively indicative that can tell us that yes, we have attained Chittashudhi? Let me tell you a story, and this is a real story that happened way back in the 1800s, middle 1800s. So Ishwara Chandra Vidyasagar, he was a scholar, eminent scholar and an academician of repute. When the Calcutta University was being formed, when it was being set up, in fact, Ishwara Chandra Vidyasagar, even before Calcutta University and after that, one of his biggest contributions was reforms pertaining to widow remarriage. Traditionally in those days in India, widows were not allowed to remarry, and Ishwara Chandra Vidyasagar was a big proponent of widow remarriage, and he introduced reforms that then enabled those kind of laws and regulations to come in place. So when the Calcutta University was being formed, he was responsible for, among others, was responsible for collecting funds for bringing up the university. And he went to the Nawab of Oudh or Nawab of Awadh, and one of the richest Nawabs in those times in that region, to collect funds. Now the Nawab was not very, generous towards this idea of formation of this university, nor was he favorable towards Ishwara Chandra Vidyasagar. And in those days, the custom to receive donation was to, put forth a tray, and whatever, obviously it was all in kind, whatever donation was being given, jewelry, coins, whatever it may be, used to be put in the tray. The Nawab of Awadh put one of his sandals in the tray. And there was a big furor in the court. Everyone was like, oh my God, what's going on? You could hear that sigh, and you could hear the gasp of horror and astonishment. And, Ishwara Chandra Vidyasagar received it with grace, with magnanimity, with gratefulness and thankfulness. He received the gift and he bowed to the Nawab and he went out. And people were wondering, this was probably, a very obvious and bad insult. And how is it that Ishwara Chandra Vidyasagar didn't react to it? Not only did he not react to it, but he, thanked the Nawab and, left with grace. The next morning, Ishwara Chandra Vidyasagar organized an auction of the sandal in front of the palace. And this auction was in the honor of the Nawab, the great Nawab of Awadh, our great ruler. We are auctioning his sandal. Come everyone, please bid for it. And the bids just went over the roof, over the skies. They were crazy, amazing bids. And the funds collected was unprecedented. Nobody even had thought that this kind of funds could be collected. Even the Nawab would not have been giving. Had he donated for the cause, he would have not given anywhere near it. But this was an auction of the sandal of the great Nawab in the honor of the Nawab, and it fetched. Everybody was, going one above the other to bid for this. Some for prestige, some for love, and some for honor, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, the sandal went for an unprecedented, unexpected bid. And the Nawab was then, feeling that, oh my God, this is such a great gesture by Ishwara Chandra Vidyasagar. He felt very good about it. He felt very proud and he felt very pleased, mighty pleased. And he actually matched the contribution that the auction had brought. So this was something that, came about, which nobody thought about. And the collection of funds went through the sky. And it was a great launch to the university. So the litmus test for Chittashudhi is equanimity. Samatvam yoga uchyate, the samatvam, the balance, the equanimity. So the equanimity displayed by Ishwara Chandra Vidyasagar and then followed up with the intelligence that only a balanced mind and intellect can bring about, raised tremendous amount of funding for the university.